Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you have an open seat next to you, we're hoping to be able to fill it. Could you raise your hand at this time if there is an empty seat next to you? Thank you.
Free seats.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ASIJ Class of 2025 Commencement Ceremony. At this time, please silence all cell phones. 皆様、携帯電話をマナーモードにしていただくか、電源をお切りくださいますようお願い申し上げます。At the end of the ceremony, please wait to be excused after the graduates and then faculty exit. At the conclusion of the event, please check for personal belongings and do not leave anything behind. それでは、式典の最後に卒業生と教師が退場させていただくまで、 お席をお立ちになるのをご遠慮ください。式典が終わりましたら、皆様お忘れ物のないよう、よく確かめの上、ご退場願います。よろしくお願いします。
seniors. Please be seated. On behalf of Dr. Jim Harden, our head of school, and our board of directors and trustees, I am honored to welcome faculty and staff, parents, current students and alumni, friends, and most important of all, you, our soon-to-be graduates, to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2025 at the American School in Japan. Here we are on our home turf, ASIJ Theater today, and it's been a wild weather week. Earlier this week, who would have thought we'd say, inside, outside, outside. But nothing builds resilience and grit quite like staring at Doppler radars every day for a week. I so appreciate our graduates who said this ceremony would be very their class and yet another story to tell. I also want to thank the student today who said, well, even if we're indoors, we're on our turf. This is where we have been together and where we have spent our time together, in the book locker room, in the counseling center, in the courtyard, in the student life center, in these hallways, in this place we love. Welcome to our family and friends who are joining us today via our live stream in the MPR. And thank you to all of the parents, staff, and faculty for all you have done to prepare these students for this moment. I sincerely appreciate you being here today and hope that you enjoy our program. At this time, I would like to welcome Student Body Class President Arnab Karmakar to the stage to introduce today's presenters and special guests.
Thank you, Ms. Zubermihan. At this time, I would like to introduce the additional people here on stage today. Mr. Andy Jones, our Associate High School Principal. Mr. Mike Nelson, our Dean of Student Life. We will be hearing from Ms. Kathy Krauth, who was elected by the class as the faculty speaker. And Chloe Haddad as our student speaker. Additionally, Dr. Jim Harden, our head of school, and Mr. And Mr. A.G. Imai, our chair of the board of directors. They will be joining us on stage for the presentation of the diplomas. At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce Chloe Haddad as the student speaker for the class of 2025.
To the graduating class of 2025. Before we begin, could we please all place our phones in the phone hotels? Just kidding. We don't do that. But that's not all we don't do. We refuse to take no for an answer when convincing our teachers that whatever school activity going on that day is absolutely pertinent to attend. We've refused to let other schools cheer louder than us at said school activities. We never take no for an answer when chasing down underclassmen so that they fill out our various Google forms for AP Stats, Research, and Super Psych. But above all else, we do not do front on the bus. That's what I've loved most about our class. We have stayed adamant in the face of adversity, determined to make a good time out of any circumstance. In a word, we persevered. But more than the things we've persevered through publicly, I want to talk about the stuff we persevered through more privately. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't the struggle to navigate high school with a new normal foundation after COVID uprooted our lives that really bonded and defined our class. It was that late night call with your best friend, where you spent 90 minutes ranting about a project instead of, doing the project. It was the free periods where you promised yourself you would lock in and instead spent it side questing, using the phrase, we're seniors, as an excuse. I was told to write a speech that uniquely defines and represents our class. Our class. We spent enough time being fueled by extrinsic motivators. I think it's deserved that we have these next 5 minutes to ourselves. So while we have family, younger students, teachers, and others in our audience, this speech is for you. It will include inside jokes and poetic double entendres that others might not understand, but we will, because that's what we're owed. Some time to honor each other, the people who, at times, were the only people who understood our circumstances. I remember the first time I felt like senior. I was on an approved kiosk run with my best friend, and on the way back from class, we sat down on the steps and basically blocked the entire stairwell. Between classes, clubs, college applications, crumbling friendships, and strained family relationships, life had felt less in my control, more like it was coming at me instead of from me. And yet, as people did their parkour to walk around us, I felt like I owned that moment in time, dying of laughter because life just sucks sometimes. Staring at those trying to pass by, just too exhausted to be accommodating, sharing a latte while listing what ifs for the future. I felt tethered, and I persevered. That's all being a senior really means. Constantly being completely conflicted between freaking out and wanting everything to end, while simultaneously realizing that every moment is fleeting, and we should be glad we have the capacity to experience it. Today is the last day I will feel like a senior. And I think part of why this moment feels like the culmination of something bigger than ourselves is because it is. There are so many previous versions of yourself that have existed in this place and have led to you. Just last Tuesday, I was taking in the sun talking about graduation for the 4 gazillionth time. Others were playing keepy-uppies in a circle on the field. Some were in the blur, sitting on tables or stealing food from snack lockers. Others were nerding out in the library or picking at food in the cafeteria, strumming a guitar in our school's secluded nooks. I really can't quantify the mark we've had on this place. However, I can quantify the mark we've had on each other. And that's 1,236,864. Also known as the number of times we've asked, "Do you have food?" to our friends and Mr. Nelson. We are no longer the ones receiving advice on how to find success in high school. We're the ones giving it. We get to finally change our goals because we've mistakenly compared the caliber of our college to the quality of our self-worth. Now is the time to pursue your own definition of success. Many of us prepare to enter a country plagued by political polarization. But I know our senior year wasn't defined by the day we watched the New York Times election tracker take more and more to the right. It was the hallway discussions with our friends and passionate dinner conversations with our family. But speaking of the election, there are similarities that can be drawn between politics and life. And I think it's important that we remember that each of us also only have concepts of a plan as we look towards the future. Therefore, I only ask that as the class that perseveres, never settle because you don't think you can do better. It is so unbelievably simple, but being happy is so much more fun than being unhappy. Place yourself in environments that make you excited for what is to come, instead of those that make you reminisce about the good old days. And that brings me to my final point, because I know many of us are thinking, I can't believe I've made it here. Whether it's because time has gone by so fast, we can't believe it's ending, or we've been chasing this diploma for so long, this moment feels almost dreamlike. I know this phrase is echoed in the thoughts of all of my peers. This speech serves to remind you of the numerous battles we've fought during high school. And when you walk up on this stage, it's finally time to feel it all. feel everything. What we've gone through these past 4 years isn't best measured in units of time. It's best measured in the brief moments of happiness, sadness, glory, utter defeat, euphoria, brokenness, and most importantly, pure magic. Relish in this moment. You're ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. At this time, it is my great pleasure to introduce Miss Kathy Krauth as the student and faculty speaker for the class of 2025. Miss Krauth has journeyed with our class through all of high school and has been an amazing role model for us all. This year, she graduates as senior advisory, too. We are thankful for her wisdom, kindness, and support along the way. Please welcome Miss Kathy Krauth.
Welcome to parents and families, ASIJ alumni, current ASIJ non-graduating students, ASIJ staff and faculty, and the Director of Transportation. Special shout out to class of 2025 SAGE senior leaders and members, class of 2025 English Circle senior leaders and members, JSEM students, best Okinawa trip ever, and my advisory, the Honey Badgers. A bit of a bumpy road to this day and this speech, but truthfully, even though the world is chaotic and crazy, it is easy for me to be positive about today and about the future because of you. Full disclaimer, none of the ideas, none of the words, none of the phrasing of this speech has been assisted by AI. Yeah. Well, for better or for worse, it's just me. Okay, I'm gonna start with, I'm sorry. Let me tell you what I'm sorry for. I'm sorry that we created algorithms to get you hooked on your phone and then blamed you for getting hooked on your phone. I'm sorry for helping to create climate change and then dying before I have to deal with it, leaving you with the most serious consequences. I'm truly, truly sorry that I didn't grab every person who identifies as female in the class of 2025 and tell you that you are beautiful, strong, amazing, fabulous. I didn't tell you that you need to support each other in this male-dominated world. Sorry. I'm equally sorry that I didn't tell each one of you who identifies as male that you can be sad and you can and should express more emotions than anger. I'm sorry online culture is stifling your humanity. I'm so sorry that many of you who don't hold US passports suddenly have to deal with the anxiety and uncertainty of whether you will actually be able to achieve your dreams of enrolling in and graduating from the US colleges and universities that you have worked so hard to get into. But here's what I'm not sorry for. I'm not sorry for taking, in their own words, a traumatized advisory and turning them into honey badgers who do what they want. Kelly Kai, Laura, Emi Sugita, Sophia, Keita, Edison, Jenyu, Jack, Tyler Pau, Emmy Schreffer, Luca, Harry, Nina, Suri, and Carl. Thank you. You grounded me, inspired me, infuriated me, but mostly you honey badgers made me smile. I'm not sorry for continuing to teach Japanese history in JSEM, especially to the students who joined this year. I challenged them, And they challenged me right back. I know I am the better for it, and honestly, I hope they feel the same way. I'm not sorry for taking days out of the classroom to plan trips to get students into Japan, but I am sorry that you seniors never had a proper trip together in Japan to learn about this incredible country. I'm not sorry at all for devoting 25 years of my career at the American School in Japan to teaching history. But I am sorry now that I didn't teach all of you the importance of history, because I can confidently argue that understanding history is now more necessary than ever, because history teaches us about the present and the probable and possible future. I am no futurist, but let's talk about the future. It's you. You, the graduates of ASIJ 2025, are the hope for the future, because you intuitively resist and reject one of the most destructive forces of today. However one explains the current circumstances of the world, much of the horribleness can be attributed to the nation state and its artificial nationalism. Nation states continue to try to tell us who we are and what values we should have. However, you, simply by who you are, naturally, effortlessly, challenge the often cruel, always fabricated notion of who people are within nations. Look at those on either side of you. Look at those in front of you and behind you. No, seriously, look at them. Thank you. This is the very last time you will all be together in this lifetime. You have more in common with your classmates than you ever will with an elderly person in a rural area in the country where you have a passport. These commonalities you have with the people around you right now don't just have to do with the internet or globalization either. Rather, you all see the world in more complex and constructive ways. You can see multiple perspectives because you had to disregard the made-up differences in order to make friends in 3rd grade or 7th grade or 11th grade, whenever you came here. Your journey here at ASIJ on the bus, in classes, and in your co-curricular activities inevitably included people who nation states want you to think of as fundamentally different from you, possibly even enemies. But they aren't different from you. They're your classmates. They're your friends, and their nationality doesn't matter to you. This perspective and way of seeing people in the world is valuable, actually invaluable, now and in our collective future. Consider the biggest problems facing our world today: climate change, pandemics, avian flu specifically, violent conflicts, wars. All of the most serious problems can't be solved by the nation state and its anachronistic nationalism. Our world today, with the purposeful chaos and human, but mostly man-made catastrophes, require those who can seamlessly transcend borders, naturally take multiple perspectives, and intelligently construct complex solutions. That's you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me hope at this point in time, which is a conjuncture of a kind of a dark state of the world and me being a fairly pessimistic 63-year-old. Thank you. Now, my final hope for every single one of you. It comes at the end of this personal story. One day I got a call many of us overseas dread. My mom was quickly and unexpectedly dying, and I needed to get to her before she died. That was her wish. Now, I know you have great moms, really great moms, but you did not have my mom. She was the best. So I got on a plane, cried most of the way to San Francisco, grabbed my check bag, and ran to the United Airlines transfer counter. An employee was closing the gate. He was closing the line and informed me it was impossible for me to make my connecting flight and just waved me off. While I was running to the Delta counter, I received a phone call from my sister asking where I was. My mom was asking when I would be there, but I didn't know. When I arrived at the counter, I was sobbing hysterically, and I could barely speak. The woman behind the counter, with a gentle firmness, grabbed my arms, not my hands, my arms, my entire arms, and confidently and calmly told me, "My name is Yolanda, and I'm going to help you." Yolanda booked me on the next flight to Minneapolis and quickly gave me my boarding pass. I made my way to the gate, and when I got there, a Delta employee approached me and said, "Yolanda called." I was then taken to a private room to wait. While boarding, the flight attendant told me Yolanda had arranged for me to sit in a row with no other people. When I arrived in Minneapolis, my younger brother broke the speed limit to get me to the hospital. He told me my mom had been constantly asking, "Where is Kathy? Why isn't she here yet?" I ran into the hospital. My sister tore off my backpack and ran with me to my mom's room. My aunts and cousin were in the room, and when they saw me, with no words, they just left. My mom was still alive and conscious. She saw me and said, "Kathy, I love your short hair." And I said, "Mom, you're dying. Why are you talking about my hair?" And then I got to spend the next 4 hours with my mom, and we got to say goodbye. All of that was a gift given to me by a woman I'd never met before and won't ever meet again. Yolanda will never know what she did and how important it was and is to me, even now. So here's my hope and goal for you, that you will be a Yolanda for someone sometime in your life. Being a Yolanda means you are constantly being generous, kind, and giving without any expectation of thanks or praise. It means you are happy and healthy because you are able to give yourself to strangers. Be a Yolanda. It is the height of what it means to be a human being. I am not going to be in your ending, but I am honored to have been a very small part of your beginning. Thank you, ASIJ class of 2025. For the past, the present, and the future, be well.
Thank you so much, Ms. Krauth. We are very grateful for your thoughtful remarks today. Next, please welcome Ms. Zuber Mihan, high school principal, for the presentation of the class.
Okay, just need a moment. Good afternoon again to our families, faculty, staff, students, alum, most of all, the graduating class of 2025. Every day, I get to do what I think is the best job in the world, serve as your high school principal. And I mean that. Though as I joked this week, if I could control the weather, I probably wouldn't be a high school principal. If that were so, my life would not be nearly as much fun. Because this job is about people. It's about being surrounded by students who challenge, stretch, and inspire the adults around them to be better. And today, gathered here on our very own campus, we get to celebrate all you've done, you've given, and how you've helped ASIJ to grow. Today, we are graduating 146 seniors, including one early graduate. As you may have noticed from the flags behind me, our graduates represent 23 different countries. Their paths through ASIJ are as diverse as they are. Some joined in high school, others in middle or elementary school, and several have been with us since their early days at the Early Learning Center. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the journeys of our seniors. Students, please stand as I mention the year that you joined ASIJ. 13 seniors have been with us continuously since the days of Robot Park at the ELC. Please stand. When you joined when you joined ASIJ, we built imaginary worlds on the playground and through Minecraft. One Direction burst onto the scene. What Makes You Beautiful quickly beamed out from PE classes the world over. Instagram, Spotify, and Siri launched, revolutionizing how people share and consume visual content, and gave everyone a personal assistant in their pocket. And more seriously, the global community united to provide aid and support following the devastating earthquake and tsunami in Japan, showcasing international solidarity. Thank you. Have a seat. Seven seniors have been with us since the days of Chofu's kindergarten. Please stand. When this class joined us, Wreck-It Ralph showed us that even arcade villains can have a hero's heart, and that glitching is just another form of uniqueness. The launch of Vine ushered in short-form video content, setting the stage for platforms like TikTok. The term selfie entered the mainstream, quickly becoming ubiquitous with our self-portrait photos, and the global community mourned the loss of Nelson Mandela, which got us reflecting on global legacies of reconciliation and leadership. Thank you. You may be seated. "14 seniors remember their days of grade 1 or 2 fondly. Please stand. As you joined ASIJ, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars got every school assembly and bus ride bouncing, and lip dubs surging in popularity again. The release of Inside Out gave emotions a voice, helping kids and adults alike understand their feelings. Parents, let's take a minute. What are you feeling right now? We saw the original Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS alongside the popularity of fidget spinners. And the Paris Agreement was adopted, marking a significant global commitment to combat climate change through collaborative efforts. You may be seated. "25 seniors have been with us since grades 3, 4, or 5. I invite them to stand. In these upper elementary school years, Pokemon Go turned sidewalks into battle zones and vending machines into Pokestops. I quit when I hit the max level, much to my kids' relief. The bottle flip challenges were all the rage. Kendrick Lamar became the first non-classical or jazz artist to win the Pulitzer Prize. A first glimpse of Marvel's groundbreaking film Black Panther generated massive anticipation. And the Me Too and Time's Up movements gave momentum, bringing attention to issues of harassment and advocating for systemic change. You may have a seat. "34 seniors joined the herd in middle school. Please stand. When you were in the middle, Among Us became the ultimate game of social deduction, and Sus became part of the daily lexicon. Billie Eilish became the youngest artist to win all 4 major categories in the same year at the Grammys for Bad Guy. The Renegade dance took over TikTok, becoming the first viral dance with students perfecting their moves. And who can forget the COVID-19 pandemic that reshaped our world, leading to rapid developments in medical research, remote learning, and a renewed focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion needs. Thank you. Have a seat. Finally, we were all in this together when 53 seniors joined us in high school. I invite them to stand. As you joined high school, we entered the Wordle craze with the daily word puzzle game, a global obsession. When you were in preschool, One Direction formed, and in high school, Harry Styles topped charts again with As It Was. While Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter finally earned her the Grammy for Album of the Year, marking a historic win to make her still the most winningest Grammy artist of all time. Wicked swept the theaters and ASIJ with our musical Wizard of Oz and dance comps, where our very own attendance fairy, Miss Tokoro, defied gravity. And we've seen rapid technological advances, including the rise of artificial intelligence and social media, which have sparked discussions on ethics and the future of work and schools. Could I invite all of our seniors to please stand? It takes every unique Mustang to make up this class of 2025. There are 146 ways to be a Mustang in this senior class. No matter when you and your family became a part of our herd, know that once a Mustang, always a Mustang. Thank you for joining me in celebrating this remarkable graduating class. Seniors may have a seat. And can I just say, you have nailed those turns this afternoon. Thank you so much. Beautiful. This year, we have a number of faculty who are departing ASAJ as well from the high school. I'd like you to join me in expressing our thanks and acknowledging their service. They are currently watching in the library, and so when you have a chance to see them this afternoon at our reception, please acknowledge them in person and thank them for their service. I will call their names so that you will know who you can give a handshake to later on. Casey Dumit, 1 year. Anyi Chompton, 1 year. Jen Delane, 3 years. Nadine Dickinson, 3 years. Damon Shearer, 3 years. Tracy Landry, 5 years. Sierra Schwartz, 5 years. Mary Gadimi, 6 years. And Pete Vrend, 14 years. If you could please put your hands together for our phenomenal high school faculty. We are daily grateful for their service and wish them all the best on their adventures ahead. So each year, I find myself humbled to stand here in front of our seniors, and this year feels a little bit different. We came into high school together 4 years ago on the same first day, and honestly, I think I was the one who was more nervous. While I may have been the one with the ID badge and the principal title, we've grown here side by side. As we look back on the years when each of you joined our school, you may have noticed that the world was growing through its own big moments too. Some are joyful, many were painful, all part of the story you've grown up with. Today, we're here in 2025, a year that numerically and symbolically sits a quarter of the way into this century. Educationally, High school marks a quarter of your K-12 schooling. Culturally, this milestone tends to get packaged as a quarter-life crisis. In some corners of the world, and maybe even some part of our own anxieties, that label fits. You've experienced more than your fair share of crises already, whether it's climate urgency, political polarization, or the whirlwind of uncertainty about what comes next. But standing here, looking at all of you, I don't see a crisis. I see a generation who knows how to care fiercely, who sees complexity and shows up anyway, who isn't waiting for a moment to lead, but makes leadership out of moments big and small. I see a class that came into high school already talking about the legacy they wanted to leave. When people ask me, what is this class like? I tell them this. They're what happens when you build a community on empathy and strength in equal measure. You were the class that started high school in masks, but back on campus face-to-face daily. And while it might have been tempting for us as a school to just get back to normal, you said yes to what hadn't been done before, and when you showed up, you didn't do it halfway. Some of you literally didn't know you could sing or act as freshmen, and now you're giving courtyard performances and taking the stage in roles. That takes courage and a community that cheers instead of critiques. I've watched our volleyball team win it all at UJO in front of a packed, electric crowd. And more than the victory, it was the pure joy of teammates celebrating with each other that we remember. I've seen you break down stereotypes of high school competition. When acceptance letters and post-ASIJ plans started rolling in, you didn't retreat into comparison. You erupted in celebration of each other. You reminded us that what comes next isn't a zero-sum game. You've brought spirit to our school culture. You're the only class in my 4 years here that took class comps away from the seniors, and you nearly did it twice. And I remember your freshman dance comps. And then to see the way that you cheered on our freshmen at dance comps this year, or used your intellect to save the juniors just last week, you modeled again that spirit is something you pass on, not just perform. Thank you. Your values have reshaped us. You've helped to eliminate plastic water bottles, design sustainability practices, and raise awareness through Earth Days and climate committees and Enough is Enough advisory lessons. You're partnering to build an environment that is safe and inclusive for everyone through student unions and activism. We're not all the way there yet, but your small acts are creating swells, and that's leadership. That's community. You remind us of what this place can become. That's your legacy. So let's go back to this idea of a quarter-life crisis. If this year is a quarter turn of the century, what if instead of calling it a crisis, we reframed it as our compass, a point of pause, of perspective, a chance to ask, where are we heading and how will we walk the path? You, class of 2025, are already showing us the way. You act when it matters most. You listen, you care. You bring others in. You cheer up, never down. What you've shown us is that big changes, they don't start with a bang. It starts with someone who says, I'll go first. I'll speak. I'll sing. I'll sort the recycling. I'll put my phone in the cell hotel. I'll open the circle. I'll applaud the other grades at class comps. I'll take the mic or step back so someone else can. As you step into new communities, new campuses, new countries, don't forget the moral compass you carry within you, and that has been honed as you've helped to shape ASIJ. You have the voice and you have the values. You have the tools to build what the world needs. Because the truth is the world is complicated, but it doesn't mean that we are lost. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to stay oriented to what matters to you, to the people around you. Because what you've built here, the way you've shown up, the way you've led, the way you've lifted one another, isn't a detour. It's your direction. So let's take this quarter mark of the century and let it be your compass. Let it point you toward community, toward kindness, toward courage. Let it remind you that the path forward is built on small, daily choices to do good and do them together. Class of 2025, We can't wait to see where you lead us next. Thank you for teaching me and for teaching us so much on your journey so far. It's been an honor to grow with you all. At this point, we're going to transition to the presentation of the diplomas to the class of 2025. Before I do that, because, we've been going with things, I would love to point out where Mr. Lim is, Johnson Lim, our photographer students, because we haven't practiced that. Johnson, you want to give us a big stand-up wave? Thank you to Johnson. As you're receiving your diploma, we're going to look for him, okay? So at this time, I'd like to invite ASIJ's Chair of the Board of Directors, Mr. A.G. Imai, and our Head of School, Dr. Jim Harton, to join me, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Nelson in presenting the diplomas to this remarkable class of 2025. All right.
Ms. Zuber-Meehan, Dr. Hardin, Mr. Imai, the following seniors have met the requirement for graduation from the American School in Japan, and we will present them to you at this time. Tomichika Tami Akashi. Kai Ando. Mari Fuji Anis. Elena Nicole Arjashanu. Maya Sukagawa Baznayake. Nesim Benba. Alexia Ariel Blount. Natalie Bonsi. Olivia Lynn Brademan. Audrey Sakura Kane. Sam Chambers. Meera Chandra. Marcus Chen. Alexandra Cheney. Noriomi Chung. Suri Choi. Mile Ruetong Chuang. Mew Clar. Justin David Cokerdem DePriest. Rio Collette. Sophia Consolati. Oliver Cox. Akshay Roshan Duthagaru. Nina Lauren Defibaugh. Bilge Suhela Demirkal. Sarah Ann Dorich. Kai Daoust Shimizu. Will Dao Yuzawa. Kana Hana Drabkin. Naomi Rella Drucker. Sakura Ruth Durfee. Maya Durkee. Anne Early. Renee Alyssa Eggleston. Mia Candace Eichbush. Micah Francis Eichbush. Arissa Enokido. Erin Kathleen Etheridge. Fubuki Eto. Anastasia Heja Marie Claire Fouard. Sophia Karen Fu. Sasha Akito Fujiwara. Ruby Jean Gardner. Alex Gibb. Ricardo Gomez Lima. Chloe Violet May Haddad. Taryn Hambleton. Leah Hassan. James Olson Hathaway. Harry Hikage Clancy. Mickey Hirasawa. Jin Zachi Noble Hitchcocks. Minjae Josh Hong. Maxwell Shia. Yuma Max Ikeda. Gianna Reese Eisenberg. Eiichiro Ishibashi. Kai Ishii. Yuzuki Ito. Maiko Kagawa. Oshin Kaya. Kaito Kanazawa. Leah Kanagawa. Arnab Kumar Karmakar. Maria Kato. Noah Kato. Reina Kato. Eri Kazui. Minso Kim. Rihanna Ann Klump. Da Young Ko. Taiga Kobayashi. Hugh Kohata. Karen Corey. Isabel Koo. Laura Sophia Laligi. Sarah Leclerc. Cadell Lee. Olivia Fang Fang Lee. Sophine Ellen Lee. Lee Ying Han. Mia Sakurai Levin. Sochil Magdalena Littlefield Carrillo. Hirioaki Mano. Hugo Fisher Mano. Kento Mano. Yugo Matsuhashi. Emi Eliza Matsumoto. Serena Nicole McGuire. Patrick J. McMaster. Takeshi Misaki. Yuri Mishustin. Hannah Munsif. Elias Ryuhei Nakajo. Mio Nakamura. Tyra Nakano. Hayato Oishi. Alec Ando. Sam Jeffrey O'Neill. Luke Ordeman. Logan Owens. Luca Parlanti. Ruchi Ashish Patel. Michael Piscopo. Raina Julia Radnor. Ryuku Reed. Joseph Frank Riley. Jaden Reynolds. Israel Rodriguez. Carl Rolf Rosendahl. Hinode Safin. Riho Sakai. Nico Sano. Emma Sayuri Savaris. Rio Lee Sawai. Julia Sko. Emmy Kaneko Schrepfer. Yuna Kaneko Schrepfer. Joe Sexton. Hannah Amelia Smith. Tyler Koa Smith. Lily Stone Bourgeois. Tomoki Sugishima. Emi Sugita. Ashley Sussman. Edomitsu Edison Suzuki. Keita Tahara. Elise Yurie Tamanaha. Kenzo Tanaka. Moa Taylor. Jack Thomas Thiel. Lila Anaïs Terroir Kikuchi. Sky Thompson. Yui Tojo. Rio Ueno. Oscar Fiske Vermeer. Usho Watanabe. Sophie Rebecca Weingarten. Thomas Haru Wheeler. Tobias John Wilcox. Amarie Wright. Caitlin Yika John Wright. Pow Wright. Mike Yamaguchi. Zhang Yo Yo. Zhenyu Zhang. To close, I'd like to welcome back to the stage the student body class president, Arnab Karmakar, to present the SAJ class of 2025.
All right. Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the class of 2025. It seems like just yesterday that I first stepped foot onto the SIJ Chofu campus. 13 years later, it is truly an honor and a privilege to be standing here before you all as we close out this ceremony and for our class of 2025 to bid farewell to this place. Over the past few weeks, I've been feeling extremely nostalgic, mentally doom-scrolling through my memories from childhood all the way up to now. I think back to those early days in kindergarten, climbing to the top of the Tokyo Tower in the ES playground, drinking paint water in the 3rd grade, and deeply regretting it the next day. Staying away from my parents for the first time at Keep in 6th grade. Writing a song in 8th grade called Crisis, a song which, unfortunately, some people still have the file to. Each of these moments have marked a phase in my life, and as I rehashed all of these phases, some great, some fun, some rough, some tough, I realized that I wasn't alone through any of it. Every laugh, every loss, and every legendary victory was shared with people who have guided and supported me along the way. And so today, I want to take the time to truly thank and acknowledge those people in all of our lives who have shaped who we are as individuals. First, I would like to acknowledge our faculty members. Can we please give a warm round of applause for our faculty? I know you're watching this on the TV screens, but the word that is your job position, teachers, does not accurately reflect or cover all that you do. You don't just teach academic content. You enlighten us with insight, challenge us with new perspectives, and help us find meaning in what we're learning. You push us to step outside of our comfort zones. You listen to our rants, to our fears, to our stress. You see us as more than just students, and you help us see the best versions of ourselves. Thank you for making us laugh and keeping it light, even when life gets heavy. Whether it was yelling, "Ladies and gentlemen," to get our attention, calling something bonker balls, taking us to the Nogawa Park kiosk during advisory, or prioritizing a game of Scrabble over grading assignments, it's these little moments, the jokes, the faces, the gestures, the unexpected acts of kindness that stays with us. They mean more than you probably think, and they're the kind of memories we'll carry on for the rest of our lives. To our extracurricular teachers and coaches, whether in theater, sports, music, art, or beyond, thank you for providing us with a space to explore who we are beyond the classroom. For many of us, those spaces became second homes, a place to go when we needed to escape the stress for a little while. Thank you for encouraging our ambition, our dedication, and our creativity. And on a more personal note, I want to take this opportunity to say to all of my teachers, I'm sorry for being late to class so often. I promise I was doing something important most of the time. Next, I would like to acknowledge our families. At the senior banquet on Wednesday, when our thank you video to our parents played in the hall, it made me realize just how profound our relationship with our parents truly are. It made me reflect on my own relationship with my parents. My parents take shifts caring for me. My mom handles mornings, waking up at 5:30 a.m. to get me ready for school, patiently escalating from gentle nudges to frustrated shouts when I oversleep, yet always telling me to take a nap, you need it, during our car rides. After dinner, my dad's shift begins. He refuses to sleep until I do, staying up through my late night assignments, sometimes until 5:30 a.m. when mom's shift starts again. When I tell him it's too late and that he should go to bed, he just shakes his head, opens a news website, and often dozes off while reading, waiting for me to finish. As I reflected on this endless cycle, mom in the morning and dad at night, I realized that these mundane moments matter so much because of what they represent. For both my parents, their job descriptions share one powerful thread in common: silent solidarity. Jobs and shifts are most certainly not the best way to describe what our parents do, because they don't do it out of obligation. They do it out of love. They simply show up consistently, quietly, and completely. Sometimes this looks like a ride to school at 7 a.m. Sometimes this looks like staying up with me until the sun rises. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Baba. To all the parents and guardians here today, on behalf of the class of 2025, thank you. Thank you for the love and sacrifice, the early mornings and the late nights, the patience and the persistence. And most importantly, thank you for the unconditional love you have always showered over us. And please know, no matter how independent we become in this next phase of our lives, you will always remain a core part of who we are. Because even when everything feels uncertain, we know this to be true. You will always be there for us. Just like Dorothy says in Wizard of Oz, there is no place like home. And speaking of home, we have built another kind of home, right here, with each other. To the class of 2025, I have never seen such an accomplished and talented class. Whether it's advocating for sustainability across our broader community, releasing original music on streaming platforms, winning the coveted Far East title for wrestling after a 30-year drought, or being honored by the Princess of Japan for excellence in Kyogen. Our class has left an indelible mark. But above all, I think the most important thing is that we are friends and a family, a community that has celebrated every success, stood by each other during every hardship, and grown stronger together. Think back to those unforgettable moments we shared, the pure joy and relief of winning dance comps 4 years in a row, the post-test walks out of advanced topics math or AP calculus, where our faces collectively represented one emotion of, we got cooked. The subtle glances to our friends in second semester that communicated a secret kiosk run or a trip to Mr. Nelson's office in the SLC to decompress and talk. And of course, the everyday magic of our lunch conversations, where we'd gather around a table, share laughs and stories, debate everything from global politics to the timeless question, who would win in a fight, 100 men or a gorilla? All while trying to rage bait each other by buddying someone out of nowhere, dropping a casual "lil bro," or hitting them with a loud and enthusiastic "good boy." These moments that we have shared with each other that strengthened our bonds are what truly define us. As we step into this new phase of our lives, whatever that may look like, new cities, new countries, new challenges and beginnings, let us carry these moments with us. And please, don't act like strangers when we leave today. Text, voice message, call, FaceTime, and in some cases, send the most unhinged Instagram reels you've got. Whatever it is, just stay connected, because what we've shared is too special to forget. Thank you, class of 2025. It's been an honor growing up with you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And now, for one final time, just like class comps, I want to hear you yell, scream, and cheer louder than ever. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Graduates, are you ready? Thank you so much, everyone. And now, class of 2025, please stand. Please turn and face the audience. Move your tassels from right to left. Family and friends, I present to you the graduates, the ASIJ class of 2025.
Congratulations, parents of ASIJ graduates. Please be sure your children collect their Emma boards and baby photos in the high school lobby. Thank you and enjoy the reception.